Brian, there's something that we don't talk about a lot, but it's incredibly important, and that's leadership. And
That's a big word.
it's a big word, and it's very misunderstood, but it's also very gentle.
Well, let's break it down.
Yeah. Bubba Love, what do you call a guy that's walking that looks behind him and no one's following?
He's just taking a walk.
That's it.
He's just taking a walk. He can call himself a leader, but if no one's following him, he's just taking a walk.
Yeah, he's, there's a lot of leaders that call them, well, I say leaders that call themselves leader. This is what happened to us. We were talking to a guy, he's pastoring a decent sized church, and he's really wanting to focus in on growing people in the church. And me and you, we have a strategy. We've got to find out, well, who are your leaders? That's what we want to find out. Who are your people that are influential in the church? Who are people looking up to and taking on responsibility and things like that? And so what we do is we say, here's your homework assignment. Before we meet with you, we need you to write a list of your leaders down. And a lot of times they get real excited about that. Oh man, you're gonna be blown away at the leaders I have. And sometimes they've done this in front of us, and they'll be just writing, oh yeah, he's a leader. Yep. Oh yeah. He's a leader. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You're going. Mm-hmm. And so then we'll get that list, and we'll say, okay, now, how many of those people on that list are you building a relationship with regularly? You're meeting with, you're spending time with, and they know your heartbeat and you know what's going on in their life. And then it gets quiet. Because it's like we snared them.
Well, not intentionally. We
No.
just simply, we love it that they see potential, or they see they have high hopes that these are people that I feel that love me, support me, stand by me. But that doesn't mean you're in a relationship with them one-on-one per se. And when you're building a company or you're building a team, you want to get people that are on the same page with you.
Yeah.
And you can think of a lot of people, but not everybody is going to. And John Maxwell, his books are just phenomenal, but he's always done that 80-20 rule. In any company, there's always that 20% that catch the heartbeat of the vision of the company. They're the hard workers. They're the ones that stay late. They're the ones that invest and give their time of it. The other 80% look at it as something that I do every day that's part of this. And church is very much the same way. You're always wanting to find your leadership that carries your vision, that bought into your heart, therefore they bought into the vision.
I can't believe we ain't talked about this more.
Well, we'll stay on it.
This is like one of my favorite things to talk about. I get excited about talking about it. We don't really talk about this on the podcast.
I know, but the best leader I've ever seen that's ever been written is Jesus. He modeled that, and he never focused on leadership. He focused on relationship that brought influence.
Yeah.
That put him in a position of leadership.
John Maxwell revised his book, Developing the Leader Within You, 25 years later. And that's been 30 years now. And he can't believe some of the stuff he left out. But he mostly just emphasized some of the other things. But one thing that I found really fascinating about it, and I could just picture him, and he probably didn't do this, but I could picture a tear coming out of his eye. Because in the book, he writes what used to be important to him versus what's important to him now. And one of the things about John Maxwell, if you don't know him, you have to go check out his books, is he is known as Mr. Leadership.
Yeah.
He is the leadership authority. He is a communicator beyond communicators.
Oh, he's fantastic.
If you ever go to a place and have the honor and privilege to watch him speak, And I mean watching because it's entertaining.
He is intriguing.
Yeah, you're just intrigued. You're not looking at your watch like, golly, is he going to make a point? Because he's telling stories, and every one of his stories has a point and a moral to it.
And you can't wait to hear it.
And you don't know it because you get caught up in the story. And then you're like, oh, he did it again. And so now you're thinking he's just doing an icebreaker and telling another story to get you kind of, break the ice, and he's going to get back into the boring part.
That's
but he
good.
never does. He just keeps on going. So he says, I used to really desire to be a great communicator. Now, I just want to be a great listener. He's figured out that the key to leadership, and he's been saying it the whole time, is they don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Yes.
He's been saying it the whole time. And a big portion of that, if you care for somebody, what are you going to be doing?
You're going to listen.
What does people say when you don't care? You don't ever listen to me. I tell you stuff all the time. You never listen. You never listen. Well, they're saying, I need you to just shut up and listen to me, and that will communicate you care. But he has gotten to this point to where he's like, man, the listening is one of the most important parts. Above his desire to be a great communicator, and that was high on his list.
Yeah.
And he effectively did it. And now after all that time, he just wants to listen, which is kind of like the opposite of communicating. One is, like if you said, what's communicating? People would say, well, talking, body language, moving, saying stuff, communicating, verbal, whatever. But listening is not saying nothing.
Well, and the thing that listening allows you to do when you do hear people communicate, since I've heard the communication breakdown, body language, tone, and the actual words you say. So body language is 55%, tone of voice is 38%, and words are 7% of communicating.
The loudest part of it.
And so what you're finding is it's not listening, is also observing not only what's being said, but how it's being said and the posture, because a text can't grasp all of that.
Yeah.
But listening in person and hearing someone, that almost helps resolve most conflict.
Yeah.
Is someone willing to listen, because everybody's going to tell you, by you listening, help you better understand how to solve the problem, if there's a problem to be solved, or just someone there to say, I care. I'm listening. I care.
Yeah, I just thought of something funny.
Tell me.
Every once in a while, I'll be walking through the house. I won't even be paying attention, but I'll just go, and my beloved wife will be at the other end of the house.
And she heard that sigh?
Yeah, she'll say, why'd you do that? And I'm always the same. I'm like, what? I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I was just
you did.
breathing.
Oh, yeah.
I just breathed.
I heard you. What are you mad about? Yeah.
So she wants to know.
Well, sometimes a sigh is saying, I have something to say. This is how I'm going to let you know.
Yeah.
And you're either going to be interested enough to say, hey, is there something you want to talk about? Or you know better not to say a word, but you act like I didn't hear. So then the sighs get louder. And you know they're really wanting your attention. But yes, James, leadership is, we're all leaders. We're all in positions in our homes, and people that love us and trust us. That puts us in a position where we're leading or influencing people, whether we like it or not. So are we influencing them and leading them to what our belief system is, our relationship with Jesus, our affiliation with what we do for a living, whatever it is? People are summing up their perspective of you based on just how you act out, just how you lead. If you're carrying any type of position, people are watching.
Well, you think about it. When you were in elementary school, the kid that sat behind you influenced you. the teacher that was in front of you influenced you. The bus driver influenced
Oh,
you.
yeah.
They say the most introverted person will influence 10,000 people in his lifetime.
Wow.
That's tremendous. So you're a constant influencer, and leadership is influence. That's all it is. Who's got the most influence? And so, if you figure out that you're influencing people in everything you do, especially if you're wanting to people to know that there's a God. Let's just say your goal is to be the best witness you can, and then somebody commissions you and says, but you can't say a word about it. Well, now what are you going to do? Well, it's going to be in the way you treat people. It's going to be in the way you react to people. And so you're influencing the person at the gas station. You ever walk into a convenience store and you can just tell the person's having a bad day? And they'll tell you sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It was this week I walked into one, and the woman had no problem telling me how bad the day was and how messed up it was and everything like that. And I said, well, this right now is going to be good. We're going to have a good one like right now, at least until I leave. And I appreciate you, so whatever that was some sort of influence. She may or may not remember me next time I come in. It doesn't really matter. But that was an influencing situation, If there was a closed interview, real quick, what did you think about that guy that just come in here? Was he good, bad? What was he? Oh, he was nice. He was kind. He carried these characteristics. What do you think about Jesus? Was he kind? Was he good? Yeah, they were similar. Well, there you go. Didn't say a word. Just modeled what it looks like.
That's good.
To be kind to people. There's people that jack me around all the time. There's opportunities left and right. There's emails I get. People are snooty and short and deliberately, digging, just trying to and maybe they're not trying. Maybe it's just coming across. I don't know. But there's touchy situations that come to, you think I'm responsible? No, I'm not responsible. You're responsible. No, you're responsible. And you can get into this whole thing. But, we might hit the jackpot with one of those situations. We never know. You'll have to watch the other podcast back a while back to get
to know what that means. Yeah. I can tell you, John Maxwell actually has a New King James, I think, Bible called a Leadership Bible.
Oh yeah.
And all throughout the Bible, he shares about the 21 different laws of leadership throughout, and he gives great examples. But one thing he did that I found very intriguing is he talked about the five different relationship styles. So he went back into the 50s and the 40s and the 50s, when in that area there was more of a military leadership style. Back then, military was really big, so the way leaders led was from that top-down type leadership. And then it came into, I think, the 70s, and it was the CEO style that began to emerge, a new style of leadership that emerged, where it was still top-down, but it was looking for the best. The CEO was focused on the best of the best. It was all about what you could do, And then it got into the 80s, and then it went into the coach style leadership. And I think it was 4 leadership styles, not 5. But the 4th leadership style was a coach. And at one time, everybody was, to be a coach was something else. And then the last, that was in the 80s, but then he was talking about the 80s and 90s, and then he was talking about the most effective leadership style that he has seen that is emerging is the poet, and the gardener. And I read that and I thought, what in the world has leadership style come to, but what he began to talk about is that leadership style is highly relational. And that someone that knows how to nurture, someone knows how to build people and help people grow. And it is not top down. It's through influence and relationship. And I've just found that very, very interesting. Jesus modeled that same way. Isn't it interesting that when on the Easter Sunday, when Mary Magdalene went to go look for Jesus, and she asked Jesus, for she thought he was a gardener.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they take Jesus? And he had to say Mary, I think once or twice, before she realized it was him.
Yeah.
But she believed he was a gardener. I find that very interesting.
It is interesting.
And so, yes, and even when even when God created man on the sixth day, he picked up and scooped up dirt and blew into it and blew his image into us. I find it very interesting that God walked with Adam in the cool of the day.
Yeah.
Their relationship in the garden. So I just think there's something to be said. Right now, people are really defiant towards authority. They're very defiant towards someone telling them what to do.
Yeah.
But someone modeling the fruits of the Spirit, modeling patience and kindness and gentleness and goodness, that inspires people to want to give their best. They want to follow someone that has a heart. They want someone to show them how to be. They want to get better. They love it when they are, they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said about that. So you and I both, we've got lots to talk about with leadership.
It's irrefutable that Jesus came to this earth, and when he got to a certain age, he called the disciples together, a group of men, and he lived with them. I've said this 100 times. If the best way to spread this gospel forever was to do it any other way, he would have did it that way.
That's right.
But it was to do life with them. He slept together and outside, and I don't know where all they lived, but they lived together. They were following him. He would go here. They would go into different towns. He would spend time talking to them. He would counsel them. He taught them how to pray. He modeled what it looked like to leave them and go spend time with the Father. So why do we struggle with that so much? Every leadership book that I read that is popular and works is all about spending time with people.
We're going to talk more about leadership. But for now,
we hope this episode of the Called to Love podcast has enriched your life and offered valuable principles to apply on your personal journey. Please explore our website at www.calledto.love for more information and to share your feedback with us. Until our next episode, may you find peace and love. And always remember, you are called to love.